All right. Welcome to Daily Dose of Hope, day 238. My name is Jason. I'm a channeler, and a Daily Dose of Hope is just that. It is there to uh, get you back into that neutral space, right in the between the light and the dark, and all the polarity that's happening on our planet. And I was guided to do this from from around February of this year. My guide said, things are going to start getting kind of crazy, and so it's time to kind of, if I'd like to come on and just give a daily dose of hope, and that's what I'm trying to do. So Daily Dose of Hope has three parts, which first is a bit of a talk, and then a channeling, and then a pocket of peace, which is a guided meditation. So nice to meet you and nice to see you again. Anne-Marie, say, yay, we can see you. Yay, it's working. So, yeah, so I'm living in the future here in Japan. So, for example, the American election was announced, which I think was probably around 3 or 4 in the morning in American time. But here in Japan, it was just the afternoon. And so when it happened, it was just like, there's no news that happened after it. What's happening? But the news was that everyone went to bed. And we'll find out what's, so this is like the first step. And we'll just find out, I guess, what's happening now with the reaction to this whole situation. My girls say, good evening, Mr. President. I am president of my jungle room. I just brought in some of my old plants, not my old plants, but my plants from outside because it's getting cooler at night. And so my room's like a jungle now. It's just, you're going to start seeing it. There's going to be like all kinds of, tropical birds, and I'm going to be sipping on some sort of tropical drink in here. But anyway, so that's big. It's a big thing. There's a big shift in the energy today. And I was just talking to my guides, asking them what's in store, and they said that there's going to be a lot in store. So the wackiness will continue. Things are going to start getting really wacky now, because this was kind of like, what's the word? Kind of like a sign, I guess, of a beginning. And what's going to happen is that things are going to get really wacky, but the good part about it is what you're going to feel, what you're going to understand is a palpable sense of the hope and love underneath everything. So that energy will become more and more palpable. And I thought that was very interesting because I can kind of feel it already. But so just like I think Yeshua was talking about that yesterday, about the angels that are singing, a chorus of angels that is singing a constant energy of love. And of peace, and that's just vibrating with our hearts. And so what they said is that they're slowly turning up the frequency knob, and so it's going to slowly get lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. But I think because of that, if you're not really, if you're still holding on to something that's not there anymore, to the old paradigm, it's going to get crazier and crazier and just crazy making. Like, why? What's going on? This my world is turning into like a very, very low budget movie. The budget's kind of like decreasing and decreasing. And so that's what's going to happen. And that's one of the things too, is that I think a lot of people are talking about this, and this is what I've gotten as well, is that we're here to kind of help a lot of the people that are gonna have problems dealing with this stuff, and even with this election thing, there's got a lot of people are just freaking out, getting very emotional. And but it's and so it's the time for the light workers to kind of jump in and just say, all right guys, relax, we're in an ascension here. The old world is falling apart and things are going to seem a bit wacky, but it's cool. You're going to be okay. And the energy is very, very positive. But it's just, we'll just see how it goes. So that was the message that I got. And so it's very nice. And Anne-Marie, you say, I feel strangely at peace too. Yeah, just this kind of feeling. It's like, everything's moving in the most perfect way it has to move. All the stories are just being told and being, they're out there. and it's just our time to kind of just come in and tell everyone, it's like, relax, relax. It's an old paradigm. It's just falling apart. It's okay. The new paradigm's over here. We're gonna be okay. uh, Patty say, trust the divine plan. And Keone say, could you take a message from Shiva? Yeah, I've never actually channeled Shiva. That's interesting. Yeah, Shiva. Interesting. Um, yeah, I don't know if I've ever channeled. I can't speak right. But Shiva would be an interesting one to channel at this moment, given that everything's kind of. If I'm not mistaken, Shiva is the god of destruction. Is Shiva's not the one with all of the heads around his neck? That's his wife, isn't it? But just Shiva is. He's not destruction. He has two aspects to him. I'm sorry, I'm just looking this up again. I always forget. I always get everyone confused. He's the destroyer. Yeah. He protects and transforms the universe. Yeah. He has benevolent aspects and fearful aspects. And his wife is Parvati, and she can get pretty crazy, and she turns into Durva. Yeah, I've seen that. That's pretty nuts. When I went to India, I was there for the wedding ceremony. I think it's called Pavrati, not to be confused with the opera singer. But yeah, we had no idea that was like, it's a huge celebration. We were there for it, and we couldn't even we were going into Varanasi, the city of Varanasi. That's not his wife, that's Kali. His wife is Shakti. Ah, yes. But I think, so Shiva, one of his wives is Parvati. Pretty sure, because the festival of yeah. As a householder with his wife Parvati and his two children, Ganesha and Kartikeya. But I get all this stuff confused anyway. But yeah, Shiva would be interesting. But I know Shiva, Kali, yeah. But Parvati also turns into Durga, which is kind of, she's also the one with all the heads around her. When she gets really pissed off and angry, she's got two. A lot of them have all these different sides. I'm sorry, I'm not completely well read on my Indian deities. But yeah, it's funny with the Indian deity. I never had like a real connection, I guess, with them. In that sense, I never felt like a strong. I know a lot of people like my age, and when I was a kid, everyone was really into it. The hippie era. I just never got the connection. Just, it seemed really distant for me, like kind of hard to connect to. I don't know. But yeah, but we were there for, I think, let me check it out. I think it's called Pavrati. Maybe I'm mixing this up here. Yeah, it's called hold on. Divine Marriage of Shiva and Parvati. Yeah. And that was when I got there, and it was pretty insane. People were going nuts. It was yeah, it was crazy. I mean, India's crazy, right? But it was crazier. Like, the party was just insane. And but I didn't even know what was going on. Everything, just normal life every day, is insane there. And then just with that, just like, I need to go to bed. But yeah, so yeah, so we'll see who comes through, I guess. We'll play it by ear. So yeah, so I guess we'll just go into a channeling, and that's about it for today. I mean, as far as the talk, I mean, we just it's our time. Many people will be very shocked by this. There's a lot of people that are shocked by this story, and they'll need someone to show them that it's okay. It's it's an old story, old paradigms ending. Things aren't what they seem on the surface. All the good stuff. But yeah, all right. So here we go. I'll go into a channeling. Oh wait, before I do, hold on. Let's see. Sometimes with these gods and goddesses, they take on many different things. Shakti is universal power, underlies and sustains. She's the consort of Shiva. Yeah. So she's one of the consorts. And sometimes a lot of these goddesses, they're just different faces of the same God. It's kind of like the idea of like the Christian idea of the Holy Spirit and God and and Yeshua, being just three aspects of God. Which and in the end I think they're all just aspects of God. But I'm not a scholar on this, so I can't really speak about any of this. Um, so yeah, the only real like Indian deity that I've always connected with is Saraswati. I just love her energy. This just real peaceful, loving energy, and she's dealing with the arts. And for me, it was just that she's got like a it's not a sitar, it's not a guitar, but it's somewhere in between, some one of those instruments that's in between. And that always kind of was really my thing. And so she's come through a few times with me. Yeah. So, but anyway, see who comes through. Here we go. Greetings, we are Esmeralda, and we're here on this beautiful, beautiful time on your planet when things are in such wonderful transition. Many things are blooming now. The time that was before was the time of things that were hidden beneath the earth. Not necessarily hidden, but they were growing underneath the earth, and you couldn't see them, so it seems like they were hidden. And when they came out of the earth, it was quite a surprise to see that you didn't know that there were so many things growing under the earth. You didn't know that there were so many things happening, and now they're all blooming. Everything is starting to grow and blossom. It is a winter time in parts of your country, but it is a spring time for the energy of your planet. It is a spring time for the energy of your planet. Things are starting to bloom and things are starting to grow, and it will seem a bit chaotic at this time. It will seem as though things are not working along some sort of order, but understand that they are all moving in the most beautifully choreographed divine plan ever imaginable. And this being has brought up Shiva, and Shiva is a good example of all of the things that will be happening. Things will start to change and shifting and changing, and when things shift and change, it can seem as if it is destruction, as if it is chaos. But understand that there is no destruction and there is no chaos, because there is nothing. All this is a shaking up. It is many things that are coming out of the earth, many things that are blooming, many things that have been hidden for many times, for a very, very long time, will be coming out to be observed, to be seen. And this is the time of judgment for all of you. And this is not the time of judgment in that sense that you are judging right or wrong. This is the time of judgment of yourselves, of where you would like to go from here. Do you think that this is the path that this earth should be following? That is the judgment. It is not a judging of positive or negative. It is a judgment of where to go from here. Now that everything is revealed, all things will be revealed. And then what decision do you make? So this decision is the judgment. And in that sense, it could be seen as the last judgment. But it is not in that biblical sense, but it is in the last judgment. And as this is where you see everything, you understand everything that has been available and that is going on this third dimension. And what choice do you make? Where do you go? Do you go into love or do you go into fear? That's the question, and that's the judgment. That's your judgment that you're all making at this moment. This is a choice point for the world. This is a choice point for all of you to see where you want to go. Where do you want to go? You have perfect and utter free will. You have that choice. This choice is yours, and you've been given all of the different options, and you can see now, and you will start to see more and more what it is that you are choosing. And now's the time. The time will come and you will choose. What a beautiful time. It is the springtime on your planet. Hmm. All right. Springtime. So yeah. Let's see how that. Yeah. I wanted to say just about the Saraswati too. Saraswati is interesting because she also, so just like Parvati is one. So I guess maybe Kali has a lot of consorts. Or sorry, Shiva has. Sorry, now I'm thinking of Kali. I'm going confused, right? But when Saraswati came to Japan, um, you know, she flew in back into Narita Airport over in Tokyo. When she I'm joking, but when she came to Japan, she was her name is Ben 10. It's the same god, but they changed, or goddess, or energy, whatever you want to call her, but they changed her name to Ben 10, and and she was syncretized, so she was kind of combined with other religions that were here already, some of the Shinto religion. But Ben 10, um, and I'm blanking on the other name that she has, but there's two names that she uses, and you'll find her shrines all over Japan, and they're usually in the middle of a lake. So you have a lake, and then in the middle of the lake there's this tiny island, and that's where the shrine is. It's always really interesting. Um, but when I was doing a lot of, for my dragon book, I was doing a lot of like going to different shrines. I was called to go to a lot of shrines. I'm not really called to go anymore. I don't feel that pull to go as much. Um, but when I used to find a lot of these shrines all over the place. Ben 10. So yeah, I'm gonna go into Mike's. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Oh, I called you Mike's. Sorry, it's a nickname. It's a nickname. All right. So I'm gonna go into a pocket of peace and uh, see. Let's see. This pocket of peace is just to go. I mean, I know this is the first day after this big event happened in America, and it's still maybe 8 or 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm not sure, depending on the time changes and things like that. On the East Coast, on the West Coast, it's a little bit later. But I know people are just dealing with all this stuff, and so it might be a little bit of a shock for a lot of people. And so we'll see. Just send out love to everyone who's been knocked off their path, or everyone who's suffering. With a lot of people are suffering with physical issues now, and with mental issues, emotional issues. So just sending love out to all those people. And yeah, so let's do it. So Pocket of Peace for day 238, November 6th, 9 o'clock at night, 2024. All right, so here we go. I'd like you guys to imagine that you are in the most relaxed place imaginable, somewhere that you feel very, very relaxed. And then just, it could be by the ocean, it could be by a river, it could be in your room, could be in your childhood house or home or room, anywhere around the world. Just imagine that you're there and take a few deep breaths and just get into it. Yeah, all right, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I want you to imagine that this chorus of angels that's been singing, this energy that is available, broadcast 24/7 on our planet, this energy of love, which is so much more power than the energies of the fifth generation that are broadcasting and that are powering our phones at the moment. It's not that energy. This is the energy of love, and it's so much more powerful than that. And you can feel it. You can feel this energy. It's really strong, and it's really real, and it's really with us at this moment. And we're starting to feel it more and more, more and more. Yeah. This is unconditional love. This is the broadcast of unconditional love. You are listening to the radio station of unconditional love 24 hours a day. All you need to do is tune your frequency into it, and you can hear it. This is the frequency of unconditional love, and it is so powerful. It is so strong, and it will come through, and it will resonate with your whole body. And what happens with it is it starts to get stronger and stronger, and then it starts to expand out into your town, into your house, into your room, throughout your heart. And it's going out into the highways, into the byways, into the oceans, into the rivers, into the skyways, into the cloudways, into the rivers. And it's also going out all over into all the people all over the world, and into all of the shopping malls and all of the streets and all the tiny little alleyways, and everyone who's suffering with hopelessness at this moment and suffering with sadness. This love comes in and says, you know what? You don't need to think about that anymore. You don't need to worry about that. Listen to this. Listen to this broadcast. Oh, wow. And look at that. Their heart's just back. And they're back. And they're saying, yeah, I don't know what I was doing. No. Worked up about all this stuff. I identified with one side or the other. But the only side that I'm on is the side of love. And the side of love is the most powerful thing on this planet. Yeah. And so everyone's just feeling that energy and listening to that frequency. And it's just going through everyone's heart. And everyone's just saying, you know what? Whew, I feel like I just woke up from a nightmare, from a dark, dark dream. But I'm here in this beautiful place, and the sun is shining, and there's hope everywhere. And we're going to do this thing. We're going to make this thing. We're going to get through this, and we are going to create heaven on earth. That's what we're going to do, because that's what we're made to do, and that's what we're here for. And we're listening to this broadcast, and we're just dancing along with it, following our hearts, and it's leading us to our passion, to our dreams. The only reason we jumped down these pathways is because we got lost. We were looking for our dreams. We stopped listening to our hearts, and we started listening to the media. We started listening to all these outward things. We stopped listening to our hearts. Our hearts are saying, just follow your heart. It's okay. Just do what you love to do. Just do what you love to do, and don't worry about it so much, because that will take you to where you need to go. That will take you to the road of peace. Listen to your heart. Those of you who are in pain, in sadness, and in anger, in fear, this love comes in and just washes it all away, and you're just back to normal, back to where you were before you even knew what pain was. When you first came on this planet, you said, whoa, what is this planet? First thing you did was said, wow! You just started screaming like, what is this place? But right before that moment, you were just like, yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the love. I'm feeling love. And then you learned all these different things like fear and sadness and pain and anger. Now's the time to unlearn it, because they weren't really there. It's time to unlearn those feelings and learn the frequency of love that's being broadcast into our hearts. Whoo, whoo. And it's getting stronger and stronger, and it's going to get stronger and stronger. And we're sending this love out there into all those people who are lost, all those people that are walking down into paths of anger and sadness and fear and hopelessness. Just remember that you are the hope. You are the hope. No matter where you are, no matter what side you're on, you are the hope. You are the hope. And you're not on any side. That's just an illusion. You're love. You're just love. And we're all love. And once we start to realize that, that's when we graduate from this place. And that's when we get out of all this stuff, all of this polarity, and which is wonderful, but it's time to graduate. All right. So, all right, let's bucket a piece for day 238. Let's see. Am I frozen? No, I'm not frozen. All right. So, yep. Let's see. You'd have to be a mermaid to get to those shrines, TT Tracy. Yeah, definitely. Right. There you go. She's also associated with, she's like a water deity sort of thing too. So yeah, there's a connection there. This is also a country of, yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of stairs. The funniest, it's not funny, but interesting thing about Japan is every river, every waterway, there's always steps going into the water. And I always thought that was very interesting. It's like, who are these steps for? I mean, you could think on a logical way, oh, these are just for people who, fall in the water and they can walk up the steps, But yeah, But if you use your imagination, so Michael will say, "Hey, Anne Maurice, it's 7 a.m. Oh, okay, so it's 2 hours before. Okay." And he said, "No matter what happens in the world over the next few years, we will continue to grow and flourish." Exactly. Yeah. Good. Great. Thank you. Yeah, TT Tracy, thank you for joining in. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution to world peace, because you guys are the ones that are making this. If I was just doing this in my room by myself, it would be nowhere near the energy, nowhere near that power to focus that energy out. So thanks, guys. Thanks, Patty. Thanks, TT Tracy. Thanks, Anne-Marie. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Keone. Sorry, I wasn't able to, when I'm privately channeling, see if I can connect with them. I'm not sure. Might be something to check out. But everyone, yeah, Anne Marie and everyone, anyone I missed, to TT Tracy, thank you so much. You are the love, you are the hope. Whatever happens, you are the light workers. You're here to guide everyone into the place of love, into the place of light. Things might get a little wacky, but we're used to it now, right? We got this. We'll figure it out. So I hope you guys are hopeful. I know I am. Let's do it. Woo-hoo. Go beach. Feels like I'm kind of advertising this mug, but I don't think they make this mug. I think it's kind of like a one-off design. Anyway, I'm not advertising the mug. It's just a mug that I bought at an Okinawa shop, but I love it because it's kind of helped me out during the time when everyone was locked down. It was just like every time I look at it, I'm like, yeah, go beach, everyone. So hope you're hopeful. Ciao for now. Ciao, everyone.